Tell me a little bit about your background.
I'm an Irishman.
I don't know anything about how you got into where you are right now, what you're doing.
Kind of fell into it. The Lord,
Yeah, I
Paul,
understand.
this is the truth. The Lord used me in my old age. I was a journalist. I was trained as an academician. I went back into newspapering, owned and operated a newspaper for many years. From that point on, after serving as a journalist, I became involved with the FBI in investigating organized crime. I was involved in the pizza trials, and I put a lot of these leading mafiosos on the East Coast in the slammer. And, you know, that's something I'm very proud of.
Okay.
From there, I with my background, I have a PhD in theology, really religious studies from Drew University. But that involved me in the 12th century Renaissance, Arabic philosophy, the writings of Avicenna and Averroes. I was a real anachronism. Nobody wanted to hear me for the life of them. But suddenly, you know, with Al-Qaeda leaping to the forefront and the Muslims acting the way they do, I suddenly, for a very brief moment, became a commodity of sort. So I've been around the speaking circuit, and I've been visiting with people like Mary and Darlena and Dixie and having a grand time in my old age. And the Lord has blessed me.
Okay. I know from reading your book this weekend, well, actually I'd read most of it. I gave a book report on it here last Thursday, but I finished it this weekend. That it's so surprising to me that the public hears so little of what is actually going on. Is that on purpose, do you think?
Do you know what's happening, Paul? At the end of June, Robert Mueller, the head of the FBI, held a press conference in Miami. And he said, listen, America, I want to tell you that a nuclear attack from Al-Qaeda is on the horizon, and it appears to be imminent. You better take care, and you better take heed, because they are coming at us with nuclear weapons. The head of the FBI said this in June. Now, I'm saying this on your station right now, and I would say, like the majority of your listeners, despite the fact that they're well-read and well-versed and well-schooled, they probably have never heard this. The head of the FBI said this. After that, Michael Chertoff, the head of Homeland Security, said that he had this terrible feeling in the pit of his stomach. I felt so bad for the guy. I was going to send him some Pepto-Bismol, but, you know, I felt so bad. Got this terrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. Well, the terrible feeling that he had in the pit of his stomach came from the fact that Homeland Security issued an official report saying that Americans should prepare for a spectacular attack in several major cities throughout the United States in the very near future. So these people are issuing warnings. Dick Cheney, in 2004, said that a nuclear attack from Al-Qaeda is imminent. So we're getting this, even from George Bush, when they asked him when he was running for re-election, what is the greatest threat that's facing the American people? He said without hesitation, nuclear terrorism. And Kerry said the same thing. You got somebody like Bill Keller, the editor of the New York Times, looking into the possibility of a nuclear attack from Al-Qaeda. Okay? And he concluded this, that the best reason and the only reason for thinking that such an attack will not happen is that it has not happened yet. And he said, and that's terrible logic.
It really is.
So everybody that's looked into this, you're getting warnings from the administration, you're getting warnings from Homeland Security, you're getting warnings from the FBI, you're getting warnings from everybody.
Should the average person be hearing this, or is it just not publicized enough that the average person hears about this stuff?
Paul, I've been on every major news station and every major news program, but think about this. What major news outlet wants to hear this message and thinking that it will somehow gratify their advertisers? Right. Because this message does not sell cars or sell soap or promote the economy. I'm talking about the end of Western civilization as we know it.
Right. From reading your book, I know that you're actually an investigative journalist. I
actually...
And everything you have in there is well documented. I've never seen a book that was so well documented. So this isn't stuff you're just pulling out of thin air. This is stuff that you have documentation on, is it not?
Right. Paul, I'm a primarily, like people, you've been at the symposiums. Mm-hmm. You get like all these people, talking heads, saying, oh, I'm an intelligence expert. These people, most of them, and I've been on the speaking circuit with them, have never met a terrorist. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm an old-fashioned journalist, and I take pride in it. When I was investigating Jamaat al-Fukra, for instance, I visited the compounds. And you visit these compounds on the American soil, and believe me, it gets kind of hairy.
Oh, sure.
As a result of my investigations, you know, and as you said, at the end of every sentence, I put a footnote. I'm now being sued in Canada, for instance, for $28 million for telling the truth under Canadian law.
Right.
So, you know, it comes with a price, and not many people are willing to pay it.
That's one of the things that, if you're free to say so, is that, could you give an update on that Canadian situation with that? Was that McAllister? What's this, McMaster School?
Yes.
The nuke program that they had there for their students?
Yes.
Is there anything new on that?
Oh, there's a lot new on that. McMaster University is located in Hamilton, Ontario. Okay. The FBI learned in, well, let me trace back. As a matter of fact, I have some pictures for you.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let's start with the arrest of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. He was number 3 in, this is, by the way, on page 9, Khalid. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was a leading al-Qaeda operative who was collared. He was arrested in Pakistan. You can see his picture right now. You know, charming looking guy. Really? You know, sweaty, kind of dirty T-shirt there. And, you know,
is he dressed up there?
I think he kind of smells, Paul. Yeah, but in any case, this guy, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, was taken into custody on March the 2nd, 2003. And he was very uncooperative. He's at Gitmo right now. And the ISI, Pakistani intelligence, and the FBI and the CIA confiscated his computer. And on his computer, laptop computer, was all this information about a plan called the American Hiroshima, a nuclear attack on 7 to 10 American cities within the very near future.
Simultaneously.
Right. Now let's realize Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is a nuclear physicist trained in the United States. Let's realize this too, that Osama bin Laden is a nuclear physicist with a background in nuclear engineering. Okay. Now you don't hear this very often.
No, really.
But with the heads of al-Qaeda, Anas al-Libi, every one of them except Zawahiri, who's a physician, are nuclear technicians. Every one of them.
Okay.
So, from the laptop of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, we learned this plan of an American Hiroshima. 7 to 10 cities being attacked with nuclear weapons, tactical nuclear weapons, in the very near future. The mastermind and the person who was appointed to commandeer this attack is a guy by the name of Adnan al-Shukr Juma. Let me show you his picture. His picture is Adnan, page 21. If you can get him up there. You want to see his picture. I've been chasing this guy for years now. Adnan al-Shukr Juma, once again, was singled out by al-Qaeda he's the next Muhammad Atta.
Is he the one that's supposed to be the most dangerous man in the world, possibly?
Most dangerous man in the world. This guy was born in Guyana. He was raised in the United States, in Brooklyn and southern Florida. He attended Broward. His father was a very radical imam. He attended Broward Community College and went from Broward Community College, where he was an engineering student, to by the way, at Broward he was schooled by some of the most radical Muslims in the world, but they sent him up to McMaster University. At McMaster University, he was joined by several other, this is according to the laptop of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, he was joined by this guy, page 18, Amir El-Mate. He's another charmer who's a student at McMaster. Amir El-Mate, all these guys have bounties of $5 million on their head. He was, along with Amir El-Mate and Adnan, turn to page 17, Anas al-Libi, who was one of the founders of al-Qaeda. He was up there. And several other people were up there that, I do not have photographs. Yes, I do. Let's go to page 10. I'll show you. Abdurrahman Jadeh, the leading Al-Qaeda operative in Canada, was at McMaster University with Adnan al-Shukr, with Amir al-Mate, and they were joined by a guy by the name of Jabbar A. Al-Bana, page 11. You'll see him. Okay? So you have at least 5. This is according from the laptop of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. You have at least 5 operatives who were at McMaster University. Now, when I gained...
were they students or teaching or...
They enrolled either under an alias. You see, student records are confidential, so it's very difficult for me to discern that. But I went up to McMaster University, and I discovered several things. First of all, that they have the largest reactor for educational purposes in the Western Hemisphere. I'll show you a picture of the reactor. Let's take a look at page 5. There it is. This is a very old facility. It was built around 1956. It's a pool reactor, which should have been. I mean, these things are dangerous. Should have been shut down years ago.
It's just supposedly for educational purposes.
For educational purposes,
okay.
Paul. You got to realize that in this facility now there are radiating material, and a radiating material, of course, makes the material incredibly deadly. We got 5. Let me just take you this step by step. 5 Al-Qaeda operatives, according to the federal government, going up there, being trained at this reactor. The people in charge of the reactor, all of them, the 3 administrators in charge of this reactor at McMaster, were Muslims from the University of Cairo and the University of Alexandria. These universities are controlled by the Muslim Brotherhood. I mean, that's a point of fact. They're the most radical universities in the world. But in any case, when I started to delve further into the situation of McMaster, I looked into certain departments, like the department. Wait until you get this. The department of it's really the Division of Earthquake Engineering Research. They have 15 staff members.